Hey there, here we have 1 by 7. What kind of decimal do you think this will be? Let's divide and check for ourselves. Let's start with the classic long division method. Here we have 1 as the dividend and 7 as the divisor. So let's start. So since 1 is lesser than 7, we cannot divide it directly. We cannot say 7 2 is 14 or anything like that. So we start with a 0 and we put a decimal point next to it so that we can shift this decimal point to the right and we get the opportunity to use this entire 10. So now we can subtract this entire 10 with 7 and then we get to say 7 ones is 7 and 10 minus 7 is 3. Now next, after we do that, we get to shift the decimal point once again and that's how we get this 0 down here. So now we have 30 to work with. So now we can say 7 fours is 28. So again, once we subtract this, we get a 2 and then we get to shift the decimal point once again and we get the 0 down here and we continue the process. So next we have 7 2's 14 and then we have 60 and then we have 7 8's 56, we have 40, we have 7 5's 35, we have 5 50 and then we have 7 7's 49 and now notice what happens. We come back to what we had in the beginning. The 1 comes back yet again. So this entire process is going to repeat once we reach this position. We are back to how we started. So this means if you continue, you will end up again with, again you'll get 30, again you'll get 20, again you'll get 60, again 40, again 50, and again back to 1. So what does this mean? This means that the decimals are going to repeat. So we'll end up with 0.142857 and then 0.142857 and again 142857, and this will keep repeating and repeating forever and ever. The same pattern keeps going. Let's try one more. 1 by 3 looks easier. Let's see how this works. So again, we have 1 as the dividend and 3 as the divisor. So since 1 is lesser than 3, we'll start again with a 0 and then we'll take this decimal to this side. We end up with a 10. So now we can divide 3 3's 9. We can subtract 10 with 9. We end up with 1 again. So again we can push the 0 to this side and again we can say 3 3's is 9. So 10 minus 9 is 1 again. So now you can see that from the beginning we're getting the same repetition 1 1 1 1. Again, see, it'll keep going. You'll never end up with anything else, right? So the entire thing keeps repeating. The remainder of 1 repeats endlessly. So 1 by 3 will give us 0.3333 and that keeps repeating forever and ever. So now 1 by 7 has a denominator of 7. 1 by 3 has a denominator 3. But what's common or what's special about these denominators? Let's see. So 7 is 7 times 1. It's a prime number. It cannot be expressed as 2 power anything or 5 power anything. 3 is also a prime number. It also cannot be expressed as a multiple of 2 or a multiple of 5, or we cannot express this as 2 power n or 5 power m. You cannot write any of these numbers 7 or 3 as a combination of 2 power n or 5 power m. That is the pattern. So the pattern is written as a theorem. If x equals to p by q is a rational number, then q, which is the denominator, if it has prime factors other than 2 and 5, and if it is not of the form 2 power n times 5 power m, then x, the number x, will have non-terminating and repeating decimal. If q has any other prime factors other than 2 or 5, then it cannot be written in the form 2 power n times 5 power m, and that will lead to it creating a decimal which is non-terminating and repeating. That is the key point. Let's verify this. So 2 by 7 has denominator 7, 5 by 11 has denominator 11, 1 by 6 has denominator 6, 10 by 13 has denominator 13. All of these numbers have either they are not factors of 2 or 5, either they don't have 2 or 5 as factors, or they have 2 or 5 plus something else along with them. If they had purely either 2's or 5's as factors, then we would not get what we have. But let's see what happens here. So 2 by 7 is giving us 0.285714, 285714 and so on. 5 by 11 is giving us 0.4545 and so on. 1 by 6 is giving us slightly different 0.1, but then again we get 6666 and so on. 10 by 13 is giving us 0.769230, 769230 and so on. So this means all of them repeat. They have a non-terminating and repeating decimal, and this means the theorem works. Again, if denominator q has prime factors other than 2 and 5 like 3, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19, 23, all the prime factors, then you get a non-terminating and repeating decimal. This always works. I hope you learned something today. I'll see you next time.